Warning, the following may contain monoliths. Join fantasy authors Phil Tucker, Timandra Whitecastle, David Benem, Benedict Patrick, and Josiah Bancroft as they roll dice and take on the bad guys in a game of Dungeons and Dragons. 5 authors, 5 worlds, 1 adventure. It's time to get crit-faced. Previously on Crit-Faced. Preparing to leave Vallaki, the heroes have a disturbing revelation. The reason Strahd has not been able to attack the town has been because of the holy bones of Saint Andral entombed beneath the local church. However, 2 nights ago, those bones disappeared.
Well, I think that we should probably send someone on ahead to check out and see what dangers lie before us. McRag, you're looking hale.
I'll make no bones about it.
Oh my goodness.
Sure.
So, is there any who could have stolen these bones? Who has access to the crypts?
So Father Lucian rubs his forehead and he says, "No, it's just me. I'm the only one who even knows that they're down here, let alone has access to the crypts."
Are they like a dog population?
It's the crypts are sealed. I mean, you saw I had to unlock the door here with this key, and he holds up the iron key that he used. This key it's the only way in or out.
Is there anyone who has a bone to pick with you?
Oh Lord! Oh, I apologize for my friend. He lacks a certain subtlety. On this obviously very grave matter. So what do you suppose might have happened?
Me? Are you Father Lucian asks, are you talking to me?
Yeah. Yes.
Well, listen. I can only imagine that some minion of Strahd. I mean, Strahd. From what I can gather from the previous caretakers of the bones, it's been passed on to me that the bones of Saint Andral stopped Strahd and his minions from making their way into Vallaki, but we've always had humans that can that have sort of bound themselves to him. I can only imagine that they have discovered the whereabouts of these bones, the very existence of them. I didn't even think Strahd knew about them, but I can only imagine they plotted somehow to have them removed right under my nose.
Did you recently have a little too much to drink and start talking about the bones? I mean, how could they have been exposed?
I don't drink. I'm a priest of the Morning Lord. We drink in moderation.
Or Calvin Sniggers.
If even at all.
Do you mind if we take a look around the crypt and see if we turn up any indications of what may have happened?
Please be my guest. Do you want to take an investigation check?
I would. Could someone politely roll for me and add 1? I'm without my dice, unfortunately.
You don't want that roll.
I rolled before. I rolled before you,
wait,
so
wait.
I rolled a 17 plus 1 would be 18. That's what I rolled. It's right here.
We can't have everyone rolling for Lord Calvin.
That's not what happened. I clearly elected myself.
He's rolling with quadruple advantage.
Pick
for
the
this.
best one.
Right.
So 18, I'll go with that.
Designated roller for you, and I will be that person because unless I roll poorly, and then it's Tim. So.
Thank you. So I'll run with an 18 as Lord Talfrin sort of snoops around.
I don't know how I feel about this, but okay. Well, so you snoop around. It's you can definitely tell there's been movement here in the. It's a dusty old crypt, but people have been down here. You do notice that the floorboards in the ceiling above you, which obviously must be for the floorboards of the actual chapel itself above, they do seem to have been recently disturbed, and you can see certainly wood exposed that looks almost clean, as if it's been preserved for so long and recently been exposed to the air.
I'm no connoisseur of crypts, but this is disappointing. I think that this is a very insecure crypt.
Yeah, I poke at the boards with my walking stick? Do they seem loose? Like someone could have pried them up recently to gain access to the crypt through the floor?
I mean, they don't seem particularly loose, but certainly the closer you get, it does look as if they have recently been pried off and sort of like nailed down again, basically.
I turn to the others, who no doubt see me poking. I say, well, we seem to know at least how they made their way in.
I hope that all of the financial institutions use the same sort of security. Yes, we have an iron door and iron keys and a wooden roof. Ha ha! How will the burglars ever get in? Ha ha!
But and Father Lucian, he obviously seems to be a bit, he's got his back up here, and he says, but the main protection of the bones has always been their anonymity. I mean, nobody knows about them,
except for you.
Well, yes, me, and yes, I mean, it's basically just me.
Do you talk in your sleep?
No, of course not. I mean, other than the congregation.
How would you know if you don't talk in your sleep? I mean, you might talk in your sleep and not know it, unless you go sleep with someone.
His mouth drops open, and he looks at the rest of you for help here. Father Lucien's struggling.
But perhaps you're compromised by arcane means. We've encountered people who have the power to cast illusions and befuddle the minds. And perhaps this has happened to you.
I mean, I would like to think that the bones of Saint Andral would have protected me from such intrusions. Like, really, it's myself. We obviously I've got my nightly congregations. Despite the fact that Vallaki is a relatively safe place. We're still the people of Vallaki are still a fearful people. So we
was a relatively safe place.
That unfortunately is my concern. That's right. And if this theft has been acted upon by Strahd's minions, Strahd himself must already know that Vallaki is vulnerable now.
I think the question that I would have is, can we just replace the bones? Do you have any extra bones lying around?
I think you would have to find yourself a saint and then ex-bonify him.
But yes, there you go.
May annoy
Protective
yes.
measures.
That's right.
Perhaps we could look upstairs at the other side of the floorboards. Maybe they dropped a business card.
Is there nothing else to discover here? Can we detect magic, or I don't know. We're wizards. We should do something. Well, I'm a magician. You're a wizard.
Do you want to take an Arcana check?
Sure.
Sure. I have a +3.
I rolled a 12 for you, sir. I'm going to check for myself.
Thank
15 for me, plus my Arcana is +1. 16.
16, no. So neither of you. I mean, actually, what are you both doing when you're sort of checking for... How do you get in touch with the magical energies around you?
I put my fingers upon my concertina and pull lightly upon the bellows. Oh.
I ignore him as best I can, and instead I just sort of open my senses to the mystical currents that are wafting about.
Okay.
I'm sorry about that waft. That was I had tuna earlier.
Yes, I found as I passed McGrag.
No, neither of you, despite your different means, two different means of getting in touch with the energies, neither of you get a sense of any, certainly any remnant of any magical energies. As you guys are doing this, you hear the floorboards above you creak.
The thief! I run upstairs.
You're upstairs! Yes!
And Father Lucian shouts out. He said, "No, that'll just be Yeska. Please don't."
The thief is called Yeska. I charge upstairs.
Yes!
No, he's just the boy. He's the boy that he just helps out.
The boy thief is called Yeska.
Well, I stop and tug at my walrus mustache. Well, perhaps Yeska saw someone meddling with the floorboards. Let's go put him to the question.
No, I mean, Yeska would tell me as soon, if anything. I mean, yes, other than myself, I mean, Yeska is the only one who he's the only one who knows. But it would have had nothing to do with. Oh, I couldn't quite hear that.
I lost you there.
I think Lord
Your story is changing.
Well, I mean, Jeska, I imagine that Jeska will probably be the person who takes my stead once I'm gone. He's an orphan that I look after here, and he works in the church, and he will be the next guardian of the bones if we can reclaim them. So,
a young man gunning for your job. I think this is a suspicious person we should talk to. If we check his bunk, I guarantee you some bones in that bunk.
Like Jeska wouldn't do that. I mean, he's dedicated to the Morning Lord and to me. Like, he wouldn't betray me like that.
No,
I did make it very clear to him that he was not to tell anyone else.
Can we speak with him?
Wait! You told him? I thought you were the only person who knew about the bones.
Well, I was until recently, yes. But you know, the boy, you know, he's done his time here, and you know, he was scared. He was scared. People have been telling stories saying that Strahd was going to attack, so it just seemed natural time to let him know, you know, that everything's going to be all right. But he would, like I said, he would never betray me like that.
I think we should interview this young man. I think that someone who is not frightening should interview him. Who looks the most friendly among us?
I think you're all pretty terrifying looking, to be honest, especially to a young boy like Jeska.
I
was fearing you would say that. Now, the thing is that if we confront this boy and he truly has the opinion that these bones are keeping him safe from Strahd, then what will we do with his psyche if we tell him that the bones are now no longer there?
Yeah, well, we'll break it to him gently. You know, don't lead with that. I would start off with some friendly questions, like, how do you like it here? You know, you'll do fine. We'll be right there, supporting you. But I feel like, you know, a young man could be intimidated by McRag. I'm so handsome, I think he might be a little starstruck. You know, I'm just. You might be the one.
Master Sana walks up the stairs or staircase. I'm not sure. However, we came into the crypt.
Okay. And so you head back up to the main chapel, and you do indeed see a young boy who must be Jeska sweeping the floor. He looks, well, it's difficult to tell. I mean, he looks like he could be about 10 or 11, but he's very thin and clearly maybe not malnourished now, but certainly has had difficulties in the past when it comes to nourishment. So you reckon about 10 or 11. Sort of a black shock of unruly hair, and he looks with wide eyes at you when you come through the door.
Hello, you must be Jeska. My name is Master Sana.
Oh, what? Where Master Lucian isn't here at the moment. I'm not sure where he's gone.
Oh no, he's was downstairs with me and my friends in the crypt, showing us the bones of Saint Andral. And
Jeska's eyes are wide when you say this, and you can see the colour drain from his face. And he starts stammering. Oh, what? Okay.
You seem surprised. Does this not regularly happen?
No. What? Father Lucian said he doesn't really tell people about. Oh, okay.
But he told you that the bones are downstairs.
Yeah, well, yeah, but he told me we were the only ones that knew.
And are you the only ones who know?
And what's your insight? I should know this, but what's your insight modifier?
Hang on, insight +5.
Oh, right, yeah. I mean, you can tell, like, that statement, are you the only one who knows? You can tell, like, as a wave of guilt just sort of washes across his face, and he looks away from you to sort of try to hide it. And then he said, yeah, that's what Father Lucian said, yeah. So it's just really weird that he's showing, like you. That's weird.
Well, we're here to protect the bones from anything that might happen to them.
Okay, good. They're all right, aren't they?
Well, we think that something or someone might be after the bones.
Well, but they're all right. I mean, Father Lucian said that they are protecting us.
I hope that they do protect you and Vilaki, of course. But do you know of anyone who might have cause to want to take away that protection?
No. I mean, this is a good place. That's what Father Lucian says. It's a good place, and we wouldn't want to do anything to stop that from happening.
Exactly. I think that's a very wise thing.
And he shakes his head vigorously there and smiles. You can see there's no real mirth behind the smile, and he starts sweeping the floor again.
So, are you going to tell me who you told?
What? And he drops the broom. But I didn't. What? Who? How do you know?
I can tell a liar from a mile away.
Oh, and he just falls to his knees and starts crying in front of you.
Oh.
I'm sorry. But it's okay. I mean, it'll be all right, though. It'll be all right.
Do you really think it will be all right that the protection is gone?
What? And, he's totally shocked. Like, no, but the Father Lucian said they're always here. They've always been here. What? This is news to him.
Okay. But then...
No, but if the bones are gone, and then Father Lucian runs up the stairs and he said, "Oh, my poor child. Oh, Yeska, oh no," and runs over to him and hugs Yeska, and Yeska sort of clings to his chest and just starts sobbing like a 5-year-old who's had his favourite toy taken away from him. And he looks up at you accusingly and he says, What did you say to him? You said you were supposed to be the one, the kind one in the group.
Oh.
Truth is always kind.
Why? What? Yeska, what has happened, Yeska? And Yeska's...
Truth is always kind. Yes.
Yeska's just sobbing inconsolably at the moment, and he looks back to you, Master Son, and he says, What has happened here?
Well,
I think like Jean Marley has come up the stairs, and he uses just a minor illusion to conjure a small kitten in front of the boy, just a little fluffy kitten, just as like it's sort of like just like a distraction. And he says, "Oh my goodness, has anyone seen my kitten?"
And Yeska is too busy. I mean, he glances at it and
it's a beautiful little kitten. Oh, look at it! Oh, he's playing with his paws. It's so cute. Oh, he's doing his little paws thing. Oh, this boy is fine. He's fine.
So Master Sunna walks over to Yeska and Father Lucian and sort of goes down on one knee, puts her hand on Yeska's shoulder, and so that he looks into her face. He says, "This is very important that you tell us who you told about the bones,
or the kitten gets it."
Would you like to take a persuasion check, Master Son?
Yeah.
You can take it with advantage though, because this has been going very well.
Do I have to add something?
No. Just whatever your persuasion modifier is.
15.
15. So he looks at you. He's snivelling away, but it's actually Father Lucian that he turns to look at, and he says, "Melivage, I told Melivage about it not long after you. It just sort of came out." And Lucian's face darkens, and he turns back to you and he says, "Melivage, it's he's the lad I hired to dig the graves. I could see him doing something wrong with this information. He's a troubled lad."
Grave digger who might have good cover story for moving bones around anyway. So where can we find this?
All right, I'm sorry about this, but this kitten is not long for this world. I think this illusion only lasts for 30 more seconds, so I'm just going to pick up the kitten and stick it in my coat and say, "It's for the river, young boy, and that's why you don't tell your friends secrets. It is a hard lesson. We all have to learn it."
Yeska is returns to being inconsolable. Can't quite figure out whether it's because of the kitten or the guilt of betraying Father Lucian's trust.
I am not good with children. I didn't tell you this.
Apparently.
That's canon. I mean, we knew that.
So, where is this gravedigger? Where can we find him?
Could very well be outside now. I mean, there's always call for fresh graves here in Vallaki.
What does he look like?
He's 15-year-old lad. But he's big. Like he's he's been digging graves for a while here. He's pretty muscular.
Does he only dig graves at night? Do you only see him at night? Is he very pale?
No, I mean Vallaki really we don't go out that much at night, so no. I mean, are you insinuating something?
No, nothing.
He asked that question to everybody.
Yeah, it's a standard question. Isn't it?
You say he's troubled. How so?
It's his family. He looks after his sister. They both lost their parents a few years ago. We never really found out why. So and he's taken that badly. So he has a temper. And I know he struggles. I mean, obviously I provide for him as much as I can, but he still struggles to take care of his family.
So
he has a temper, but we have a McRag, so I think we'll be okay.
But someone might have a leverage then over him.
Considerably easier to do that with Milivoj than it would be with Yeska.
Where do you think he is right now? Outside?
Okay, I mean, he could be outside. Yeah.
Or where else does he like to loiter?
His home. I could certainly give you directions to it. It's just a few streets away.
That'd be lovely, please. If you could draw it on the map, we are not very good with directions.
Do you have a map of Vallaki?
Yes, we do. In fact, we've been building one. Masasuna.
I've been very busy. I have not yet had the time to draw maps of
He does a quick scrawl on a parchment that he sort of has on him, so you can see the main road, which is really the only road that you've travelled in Vallaki, just runs east to west. There is a northern road, basically at the crossroads where the Blue Water Inn is, that seems to lead up to the lake at the top. But he puts a wee X, and 3 streets away is where Milivoj's house is marked.
Okay.
I think our course is clear. I think we should go check the boneyard. I mean graveyard. I mean cemetery. And then if he's not there, we should proceed to his house.
Okay.
What says the group?
Be kind to Milivoj as well. He's like I said, he is a troubled young lad. He could very well be the cause of all of this, but it's not his fault. He's been dealt a hard lot.
We will treat him like a kitten.
He does double take at that. Okay, so
Okay.
Are we heading outside?
Is there anything else to do in here that we can think of?
I'd like to take a moment to meditate, maybe down in the crypt.
Okay, and
because I need this is I don't know if you guys noticed this, but this is getting to Master Sun. It's like she's not her usual bright and optimistic self. And
no.
You mean that being here in Barovia has had some kind of negative impact on her psyche? That's weird.
Yes, that's just there's just so much, There's like, so we've lost Irina, and just like, everything's going wrong. And we met this guy who can we've met 2 people now who can travel the fog, but both of them say that there is no way to go back home. And Master Sun was like, she really wants to go back home. It's like,
I don't take that personally. I understand.
This is not a good place to be.
No.
We killed Doru.
Yes, we did. We killed Doru. That was a good time. Remember how we laughed? Oh, Doru.
And we were all
Dead
exhausted.
Doru.
Oh, dead Doru.
Yes, I'd like a moment of peace and quiet to myself, please.
Lucian nods his head when he says that. I said, it's not uncommon. The rest of you, I have some wine in my study. We can take you
wine,
calm them down. I do want the altar of the Morning Lord to be free for prayer whenever.
Do you have any frisky novels?
I thought you didn't drink.
And he raises an eyebrow and he says, I do certainly have some tracts that I think would be particularly useful for you. So,
I like a little ribald humour.
yes, that's why you need these tracts. Okay, to my study, everyone. And he escorts Yeska away, and I assume the rest of you follow, leaving Master Sunna?
Yes, of course, okay. Of course.
So, Master Sunna.
This being Barovia, I'm not going to go in the crypt, but I'll remain at just the top of the stairs so that nothing untoward crawls out of a tomb while we're all reading risky tracts and drinking wine.
And meditating.
Okay. So
you'd be meditating, but I'd feel awful if we were having a jolly time in the study and we come back and you're just gone.
Which can sometimes happen in Barovia, obviously.
And yes, precisely. So I'll just remain inconspicuously just at the top of the steps so I can make sure you're okay.
Come, McGrag, let's get trashed.
Crit-Faced is a weekly Dungeons & Dragons podcast. To make sure you never miss an episode, and to get an exclusive prequel episode of the podcast, where you can find out what our characters were up to before this adventure began, head over to critfacedpodcasts.com and join our Crit-Faced fan group.